Welcome back to the Country Minute Podcast. My name is James Shotwell, and it is so good to be with you. Our guest today is none other than Chase Matthew, whose new album, Chase, is available right now and who's currently on his own headlining tour before he joins a world tour with the one and only Keith Urban. Now, I've known Chase for about half a decade at this point, and his star continues to rise. We were able to record this conversation together in person in Nashville because of Country Radio Seminar, and you'll be seeing a lot more interviews from that conference in the coming days and weeks ahead. But right now, we had to kick it off with Chase because, again, he's a good friend and this is a great conversation. We talk about a whole lot in a very short amount of time, so go ahead and get comfortable. But first, make sure you hit the subscribe button no matter where you're enjoying this podcast. It always helps us. We have so much to come and I don't want you to miss any of it, okay? Now that that's done, enjoy the show. Back here at CRS with our pal Chase Matthew.
Yo!
Album Chase out this Friday.
Yes, sir. Out this Friday. Ryman Auditorium this Friday.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Very important to say, sold out.
Hometown show, man. I can't believe it. It's such iconic. Mother Church, the place to be, you know? So it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, how did you celebrate the last record coming out, and how are we celebrating this one?
The last one, well, I was on the road so much, so I didn't really get to. But I don't have, I'm not on the road too much with this release, so I don't know. I guess I need to figure that out. It's snowing in Nashville today, so maybe I go play in the snow with my buddies and kick it. That's what I did last time when I finished this album, like a few months ago when I finished it. That's what we did. We went and played out in the snow, and so yeah, maybe that's what I'll do.
You've teased a ton of this record online right now. What's your favorite song that you've teased that isn't "Drive My Truck" or "U-Turn"?
Man, Sunday Close. It's a really good one. Or If I Had Wings. Man, I don't know. There's a bunch of different. It's hard to pick because really I've been sitting on a lot of these songs for a really long time, so they're just all special to me. But Drives My Truck, U-Turn, those are some of my favorites for sure.
Well, let's talk about If I Had Wings, because that might be my favorite off the record at this moment.
Cool.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So I was sitting backstage at I think it was like a Fourth Street Live show in Louisville, Kentucky. But yeah, I was down there and we were sitting at the TGI Fridays right there, and I had this idea and I was like, man, I'm going to write this when I get out of here. So I went backstage right around the corner and started writing this song called If I Had Wings. And it's basically, you know, when you're young and people say, what's your dream? Like if you had one genie in a bottle, like what would be your wish? And as kids, we always say, I wish I could fly, wish I, you know, whatever. And so like, as you're older now, my conception is like, it's like, if I could fly, where would I go? You know? So it's like, if I had wings, what would I do? And so, yeah, if I had wings, I would fly to heaven. I'd go do all these things. I'd go see all the people that I miss that have passed away, you know? And, I think that's a very relatable, you know, concept. And
you've been chasing a ballad, like a real ballad.
I think I was chasing just a good song, man. I wanted to do that one right. And, it came out really perfect. I said everything I wanted to say in it, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it.
Now, you have one track on this record that is a solo, right? The rest of them you have collaborators. Yeah. Is it important to you to get like a solo right on this record?
Yeah, I would say that that one was really cool. I also did some production on it too. I made the demo, which turned into being the record. So did some instrumental work on that as well. So, but yeah, it's called Waiting on You to Call. And I mean, I'll tell you, if you want, I'll give you the sauce. I'll give you the beans on that one if you want to hear it.
Give me a little sauce.
I was FaceTiming this girl, and she lived in Ohio. She knows who she is. We're not really talking anymore, but I was FaceTiming her like every night. And like I'd met this girl through social media, which I think is kind of like a little more normal nowadays. But I told her, I was like, I've been waiting on you to call all day. Like waiting for you to get off work, waiting on you to call. I was like, damn, that rolls off the tongue nice. I might need to write a song. So waiting on you to call, wrote it that night. Yep. On FaceTime with her. So yeah, but it's all good. Now I'm trying to write a new song with somebody else. So
you've been teasing a lot of songs. I've seen a video I've seen Driving My Truck. I've seen U-Turn. What's the one that's going to radio?
Man, I really don't know. I don't know what I'm going to send to radio yet. I like to let the fans decide really. And by doing that, it's like whatever they bite on, you know, whatever they like. And, you know, eventually whenever that starts to show up on this new album, I'll decide. But if I have a choice, it's going to be Drives My Truck. I love that style record, that rockabilly, just like, it's just, I came up with the lick and and like took that to a right one day and with Brock Berryhill, Taylor Phillips, and we put that thing together. So it's kind of cool to see where it is now.
When I heard that song, I was like, a summer with Jason Aldean has rubbed off on you. It sounds like something he would have done.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Jason's awesome, man. I've looked up to Jason for so long, and that tour was insane. I know you came out to a few shows, y'all both did, and it's been a real like eye opener to just be like, I never thought that would ever happen. And then now we're going on tour with Keith Urban, world tour, right? I've never been off North America. I've never been anywhere other than Canada, the States and Canada. So yeah, a little worried about them big ass spiders they got over there in Australia, but we'll get there.
You'll have a guide. You'll have Keith.
Right.
Have you asked?
I don't think there's anybody better to go there with,
Have you asked him about Australia and like?
Not yet. A little bit, but we met to do some like
Promo.
the promo liners, in the car, like that thing. We met for that, and that was cool, man. I got to kick it with him for a second, and we
Picture like 8 hours in a car with Keith Urban just trying to make him laugh.
He's funny, bro.
Really?
Dude is funny.
I don't even when I saw those ads, I was like, it's just them hanging out trying to make each other laugh all day.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool. Alana Springsteen, Carly Scott Collins. I think I keep messing it up. I keep getting her names flipped around, but I keep calling her Carly Collins Scott. Yeah, I keep messing it up.
Shout out Carly.
Shout out Carly Collins Scott.
KCS. KSC. We'll get there.
I'm not good at this.
Tell me about getting that tour with Keith Urban, because I hadn't asked you this ever. Like, when I saw you last time, you didn't mention it to me if you knew. So when did you find out about Keith Urban? How did the offer come to you?
So it's kind of wild. And I hope nobody gets upset for me sharing this, but basically, on the back end of things, before offers are sent over, it's the conversation. And so, my manager, Ken, called me one day and he was like, hey man, I just got a crazy phone call. I'm like, okay. He's like, Keith Urban's manager, I think he says manager, called and was saying how Keith is a really big fan of you, and they're entertaining and having conversations about potentially sending an offer over for his tour for next year. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And he goes, and also Keith might, be willing to play on your album. I was like, well, that's nuts. Like, who knows? They were just kind of brainstorming, I think. And but anyways, I was still on tour with Jason Aldean and Luke Bryan. I also did the Luke Bryan tour, as you know, around the same time. That was a crazy run. We're going from cross country to the next one. But I'm backstage at Luke Bryan show, and Brian O'Connell, BOC, Live Nation Country, what I'm talking about. BOC comes up to me. He got a cigarette in his mouth. He's kicking it. He says, hey, man, you got a big fan. I was like, a big fan? Like, yeah, like a big fan. I was like you need a fan? Like it's hot? Or like I got someone who's like a big fan? Or like, what kind of big fan do you like? I don't know what you're saying. He's like, Keith Urban called me 6 times this week trying to figure out how to get you on his tour. Just like that. He was just like, Keith Urban called me 6 times this week. It was so funny. And I was like, what? And I played dumb, like I didn't know about the last conversation because I wanted to see what he would say. And he's like, he literally has called me a whole bunch. He's a Chase Matthew fan. And I'm like, that's so wild. He don't follow me. I never knew he even knew I was, So really cool, man. And finally got to meet Keith, like I said, that day. And we just basically confirmed everything I was hearing the whole time. So this is really cool, man. I'm pumped.
Now you get to meet Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, yo,
Nicole Kidman.
That's what yeah. So
I'm sure that happens to Keith Urban a lot, where people are like, oh,
holy shit, yeah. I've never I never watched like a lot of movies or film. I wouldn't say I was sheltered, even though I was sheltered, but I didn't really watch a lot of TV or movies, mainly because I was ADHD as hell and couldn't sit down for long enough. But I do know who Nicole Kidman is, and holy crap, Yeah, that's going to be an Instagram hard post for sure.
Now, you guys have a lot of, you play, what did they just tell us, 145 shows last year, something like that?
Yeah.
Do it again this year, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that the Keith tour is going to be great because I'm going to get to go be direct support on that tour and see more people and shake more hands and, make my first impressions on a lot of new people, but also get to see people that I have never seen and got to see in concert in other countries, other, areas. So, that'll be fun, but the fall tour we haven't announced yet. I'll make sure you got the info first. But
headliners?
Yes. And unless we unless something,
Keith Urban calls again.
yeah, exactly, or somebody else. But yeah, man, I think if we make it make sense, it's going to turn into a Chase Matthew year for sure. It's going to be huge, man. I'm excited, and I can't even believe I get to say that. You know what I mean?
To ask this when we're just now talking about the album coming out on Friday, but I know you got a lot of other stuff, so
Yeah,
touring isn't the only thing you're going to do this year.
right. I'll be in the studio. I'll be making music. I'll be revisiting old songs, making them better, potentially putting them out. I can tell you that I got a TV show coming out in March, which I think you knew that already, but I have a TV show that debuts in March called Chasin', and that's kind of like the album's called Chase, the TV show's called Chasin'. Like I'm branding this year Chase a lot more. I've got Chase hats, kind of in the same font as the Darlin hats. Chase merch, chase your dreams, chase this, chase that. Chase is a verb, you know, so but it also works as an adjective too. So I think that's the right word.
Branding 101.
I dropped out of high school, y'all. I'm not the best at this, but yeah, a lot of cool things to come with that.
Thank you, brother. I know you're busy here, but I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to talk Chase. It's amazing. It's out 21st. It's Friday. Yes, sir. It's happening. Ryman show, sold out shows. We'll be calling you everywhere. So
Thank
people
you, buddy.
can follow us, and thank you for hanging out.
Yes. By the way, anybody watching, I love Country Minute. We were thinking we were not going to be able to make this happen today because we have so many other stuff, like interviews and stuff to go do. But I love y'all so much. I even got their sticker on my phone.
There we go.
I love Country Minute. Put that on a t-shirt.